To people that say that a prenup is planning for the divorce,
Yes.
I really say, to those people, I say it's really planning for the marriage, because it creates the opportunity for you to have the difficult conversation, for you to talk about what your financial goals are, what your spending habits will be, what will happen if one person is a stay-at-home mother or father and not working for years, and what they should be entitled to. So it creates a platform to have these difficult conversations that a lot of times you're not having because they're uncomfortable, right? It's not sexy to talk about what happens with the money and whether you're going to get paid or not. People don't want to have those conversations. But a prenup gives you the platform to have those conversations and ultimately minimize the tension down the road that arises from marital, monetary issues. Yeah. So I think they do more good than harm.
I'm flowing with you. I mean, and if marriages are ending 50% and only 11% of people are thinking there's a small possibility we may get a divorce down the road, it may not work. What it's showing me is that we're going into this one way, but like you said, we all change. Mm-hmm. And Christian or not Christian, I mean, 5 out of 10 people are getting a divorce. Yeah. And really, when we really look at it today, let's be real on this show. I mean, you were talking about this offline. The numbers have gone down a little bit from the divorce, but only because people are not getting married.
Right.
I mean, they're just living together and not saying I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I hear about this, one of my friends who is a very wealthy individual just recently went through a divorce, right? And he had a prenup. And his wife, who I know, they're not ending on a negative term, but it's not an easy separation, right? But they both said that prenup allowed them to just focus on their kids.
Yeah.
Like, she already knew what she was walking away with. He knew what he was walking away with. And then the hardest part was fighting for who gets the kids.
Yeah.
So it seems like it brings a little bit more of a peaceful exit than it does hurting the exit.
Right. And because the people who are anti-prenup, a lot of times, I say, have not seen or experienced the devastation of divorce up close and personally. Because once you've gone through that, you then have a different perspective. When I've divorced clients who did not have a prenup, they often say to me, the next time around, I'm getting a prenup. Like, once they have gone through the process of divorce, because with that, you can minimize so much of the conflict and the tension and the strife by just having resolved at least the monetary issues. And then, like you said, focusing on the children, on your own well-being. So, yeah.
So let me answer this question, because that's a good question. And I have it written on my notes. Man, boy, people are going to be so upset with me on this show. From your chair as an attorney, do you see people getting married for love or for money?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
I'm serious. I mean, because it's a tough one to answer.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna say it. For me, I don't want tough love marriage. Like, I don't want to get married to someone only because I love her, but we are struggling. We are just not compatible, but I love her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a lot of instances, love is not always enough.
I mean,
there's more to it in order to make the marriage work and last. So, I see people marrying for all kinds of reasons. Absolutely. A lot of times the wrong reasons. Right. Sometimes pressure, societal pressure. Sometimes it's age. And so ultimately, like you said, they're either going to struggle or ultimately divorce. So, you want to do the work on the front. I mean, one of the things I see is people spending so much time planning for the wedding day and not enough time planning for the marriage.
The marriage.
And so as part of the planning for the marriage, that includes both premarital counseling, whether it's pastoral or, another counselor. It includes meeting with a lawyer, a family lawyer, to talk through some of the monetary issues and other issues that can arise in a marriage. It involves all of that before you say, I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people go through the process, they end up saying, I don't, and they don't marry the person once you've had those real conversations. But the time to have them is before you say I do, not after.
Absolutely. I think for me, definitely, I want to marry someone who I love, but then also I want to marry someone who I can build with.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I mean, if I can't build with you, then it'll be hard for me to love you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about build, we got to go out there and work and do this thing 50-50, you know. But what I am saying is, can our visions align together and can we go build legacy? And if we can't do that, then I can't love you.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. And you said a powerful word there, which is alignment.
Absolutely.
You have to be in alignment with both, what you want, be honest with yourself,
Yes.
and then you need your partner to be in alignment with you. It's about determining whether you have shared goals and shared values. What do you two value? Do you value, family? Do you value wealth building? Do you value living, your spending habits? Like, are they in alignment? So these are the questions and that's why I say love is nice. It's good and you should have it, but that's not necessarily enough to make a marriage work.
Yo, if you're just now tuning in to the show, welcome back to the table. It's your boy, Anthony O'Neill, and I am joined here with my good friend, attorney Michelle, who is a family and divorce attorney. Listen, before we get back to the show, she's dropping some amazing gems, but let me drop this quick gem before we get back to her. Listen, one of the things about divorces, right, is savings accounts, right? You want to save for an emergency. And I pray that you never have to go through a divorce, but we're having this conversation, but you may get a prenup, and prenups are expensive, which means you need to have some money set aside. Listen, when it comes to savings account, I park my money at Prize Pool, all right? Prize Pool is, in my opinion, the #1 savings account, especially for millennials, because everything is digital, and they're gonna pay you way more interest for your money. They're gonna give you about 0.30%. That's which is about like 6.5 times higher than the national average out there. And check this out. This is the dopest part of them. They're FDIC insured, and let's say you just parking $5,000, or let's say you park $50,000 there. No matter amount that you have, say you have $50,000, they're gonna give you 50,000 tickets to go towards a grand prize every single month. Their grand prizes ranges anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 monthly. And then they're giving away $100, $500 a week just for you parking your money in the account. So check it. You can have your money guaranteed to stay there and grow a little bit with their high interest rate. And then also you may get some extra money. I've actually already won about $300 from them for just parking my money there. So I'm gonna encourage you to join me at Prize Pool. Their information is in the show description. But let's get back to today's show, because Attorney Michelle is, she's challenging us today. So Michelle, for the people watching right now who are saying, okay, you know what, I like this. But how do I approach?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when is the right time to bring up the conversation about prenups? Because what you don't want to do is propose and then bring the prenup. They're going to be like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
So when is the right time in dating? Because a lot of people watching right now are dating. And I do believe a lot of people right now, because my tribe are ladies like yourself, young, bright, successful, and minorities. Mm-hmm. So they come into the table with the bag, with wisdom, with knowledge, with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think some people will be down for a prenup. When is the right time to have that conversation in a healthy way?
That's a really good question. And I think that not the first date, but...
I was about to say the first date.
But no, not the first date, not the second date, but pretty early in the process, because if it's important to you, and that when you first start to think, okay, there's something here, like this could be more than just a random, just dating casually.
Yeah.
It's a good time to start talking about what's important to you and what's important to the other person, and see if those items align. Because once your heart gets all caught up, it's so much harder to make the decisions that are right for you. It's harder to walk away. It's harder to...
I see.
Yeah. So if you know that you're both in alignment, you don't need to discuss all the details earlier on, but just, is the person open to the idea of a prenuptial agreement? Or is that a deal breaker?
See, I was thinking the opposite. Make her fall in love, then ask her. You know what I'm saying? Wing your own in. Like, girl, I know you love me, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, doesn't love change things? But you just made a valid point. Love will change things, but if she genuinely doesn't want that at her core, then she will say yes when she knows she really doesn't want that.
Right. It complicates matters. Like when you're all in love and then you're like, oh, by the way, yes, for your purpose, sure, you can get, reel them in and then pop it on them. But I think
and then she'll probably walk away too.
It's a possibility. So that's why I say you should get on the same page earlier in the process.
Dang, Michelle was like, maybe day 3. Day three. Nah, I ain't gonna do it day 3. Maybe week 3?
I mean, just
early.
Yeah, earlier than not.